So if your passion's paying your bills, go for it, full throttle. Don't stop, don't change, don't do anything else. Just
Hello everyone, welcome to the 16th episode of our podcast Pepper Spotlight. My name is Pavan Rochwani, and I think after a break of few weeks from the conversational episodes, we are back with a guest on the show this week. The past 3 weeks we were uploading content and episodes about which were relevant to how creators and freelancers and artists in general can stay focused, can stay creative during this pandemic times. And I think it's something like a problem that even I was facing personally, and we felt that it's more important to address these kind of issues rather than something else that we would really want our guests to talk about and share about. Um, but today, what we are going to talk about is something that I am very, very fascinated by. I think India's gaming industry has been evolving at a rapid speed, and there are so many things and so many aspects about the entire gaming industry that I don't thoroughly understand because I have not been into that space. And this entire episode is going to be more like me letting my curiosity lead the conversation and asking as many questions as I can to Pranav Panpalia. If you all follow us on Instagram, pepper_content, you must have noticed that we also hosted him over an IG live session in some few weeks back. And the IG live session itself was so interesting that we felt, we want to have a broader conversation about the entire industry. So here I am today hosting Pranav Panpalia on this episode. And if you like any of these conversations that we do, please feel free to share it with other creators, other freelancers. You will listen to my conversation with him, which was pre-recorded over a Zoom call from here onwards. Thank you so much, Pranav, for giving us your time and being part of this conversation and being a guest on the Pepper Spotlight podcast. I think all the questions that I'm going to ask you are going to be through my personal curiosity in this conversation because my parents did not let me play games in my childhood. And when I'm seeing the gaming industry booming so much currently with YouTube streams and everything else, I am really, really curious to ask you a lot of things about that.
thank you, Pavan, first of all, having me over. And I think the problem or probably the situation you've gone through is a similar situation everyone in our generation went through, wherein we were just not allowed to play games all the time. But I think the current generation has found its true potential and it's taking to new heights in the gaming space.
Were you allowed to play games in your childhood?
I was, but like Road Rash, and we had those cassette sort of games that we were playing, and of course, not all the times because you cross half an hour and then you would hear your mom saying that you should go to study right now. So it was casual gaming. It was never very hardcore professional gaming. Though I had a brother who would just go to cyber cafes where he would play CS:GO and compete. So it was very fascinating for me to see him do that at that point of time. But I think he was also probably because he made some online friends that time as well, and then he was just trying to pursue it. But I don't think so. Like people at that time saw this as a industry, a career to pursue it
Yeah.
as. It was just probably sometimes your skill sets would improve and you would just go aggressive in your gaming career. But yeah, times have changed. Yeah,
When I went, so my schooling happened from 2000, let's say 1 to 2010,
yeah,
and how it shifted in the first 5 years was I in the evening I used to go out to play cricket, but
yeah,
later a game parlor started near my house where you pay 10 rupees or 20 rupees an hour and play
correct.
Smackdown or
Yeah,
Crash or Vice City and GTA and all of these different games for an hour.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I started going to the video and game parlor from 2006 2007 onwards. And I think I don't know, I made new kinds of friends altogether when I started to do that. And but eventually school happened, 10th standard, 12th standard, and all of those things, and I went into a different path altogether. But tell me about how it is currently. I mean, just if you want to give us an example of a particular gamer right now, who's very active in the scene from India and streams daily or plays daily or all of those things. Give us an example about how it is in 2021 compared to how maybe it was in 2007-8 when I was going to those game parlors.
Yeah, so I mean, I would probably speak about all the gamers that we work with, right? And all of them are in their 18 to 23 sort of age bracket, right? And everyone probably would have started gaming around when 16 or 17. And now they have built, I would say, an empire, right? An audience, uh, a cloud around their entire gaming gameplay and everything. So Ujwal, 15 million techno gamers, total gaming 22 million. I mean, these are like probably I would say like a big chunk of the entire internet that's been subscribed to these guys, right? And it's completely because I can tell like a personal experience as well. One of my cousin who's like 6 years, 7 years old, and he follows all of these guys, and he calls me that can you make me meet just kid things, right? And he has made an entire team for himself where he wants to compete. He's like, I have a really good gameplay. I want you at some point when I'm done with my studies. I want to pursue gaming and I want my own esports organization. And this is a six, seven, eight grader, right? And this is how they are thinking. This is how the entire generation right now is thinking and talking about gaming. They are, and the of course the parents are still skeptical about how big this industry is. They still don't know that how probably they still feel that education is important, which I it is important, right? Even if you become a gamer, it's super important. But considering that this is going to be a full-time job, this can pay you well. Those success stories have to be spoken much more about, and I think probably this podcast reaches multiple parents and does the job for us.
And what do you say to that cousin of yours? Like, will you manage him? Will you represent him? Will you guide him? What did you suggest him as to what he should follow? I mean, maybe let's just say what other people who are listening to this podcast, if they are eighth graders or ninth graders or just in school right now, what really should they follow to pursue full-time gaming as a career?
I think like 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 all common things, it has to be the balance, right? You have to study, right? And you have to get good grades. So my suggestion to him was listen to your mom first, because it came in from as a personal this thing also, because her mom wanted me to put some brains into him and be like isko samjhao. So that personal aspect came in, wherein he had to listen to his mom. And second of all, study and play on dedicated hours, right? You cannot be, because what happens is with PUBG and everything as well, these games are addictive, right? And kids do not know when to stop. So you when once you start, you can probably go on for 6 hours, 7 hours, and you will not even know. So at the same time, you have to step out, you have to play other sports, you have to work on your fitness, right? And this is the time when one has to stay fit. And even in gaming, I think fitness is a very big thing. Even though you are sitting on one particular chair and playing for hours, but you gotta work out. And the biggest and the most successful gamers have a very nice fitness regime that they follow. So these are some examples I had to give him, right? And to elaborate that you are on the right path, but you would not reach that goal if you are not balancing everything. So of course it was a very big advice for that age, but I'm sure even if he takes in some percentage of it,
Yeah.
and probably this is for everyone, so it's gonna work out for them. Yeah,
Correct. I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you more questions and move into your organization and understanding the whole working of it. But because the name PUBG came into your answer, I just want to know from somebody like an insider and who understands the industry really well, how big of a setback or situation this was when PUBG got banned in India. I mean, for me, it wasn't because I played once in a week and things like that, but for you who was into the industry, like how big of a setback or a situation this was when PUBG got banned?
So I would say, luckily, I was not affected like even a percentage by it, because all my gamers were not PUBG players. They were content creators in the gaming space. And as a matter of fact, everyone sort of had multifold growth during that phase. But if I have to talk in general about the entire industry, it was a big setback, right? The numbers dropped because everyone who was a PUBG player that was not is probably still not getting views, still not making that sort of revenue, right? The top ones probably still get some work out of brand deals and everything, but your mid-level PUBG players, or someone who's just beginning their career in YouTube playing PUBG, they had the biggest setback, right? Because people, what happens is in gaming, if a popular game is and you're good at it, then people come majorly for the game, right? But it was
Yeah.
like a big learning curve as well,
Mm.
because all of those players understood that for us to be a gamer, we have to diversify. We have to be good at multiple games. We have to be doing multiple things at the same time. It's almost like you cannot keep all your eggs in one basket, right? So
Yeah.
it was majorly an eye opener, and for the industry, it was a good time because the entire gaming space had become about PUBG. So it had become so
Yeah.
big that like everything came under the shadow of that game,
Mm.
right? But it also opened doors for multiple companies to enter, multiple
Yeah.
games to enter, multiple content creators to shine,
Yeah.
right? So it was overall like a good this thing, and the fact that it might come back can again now content creators or gamers would not make that mistake.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think not only in the maybe let's say gaming industry, but I think when TikTok got banned, a lot of creators understood that they should not keep all their eggs in one basket and try
correct.
to, build audience maybe on all platforms, be omnipresent. And I
Yeah,
think that was like one big learning that a lot of creators learned out
yeah,
of that. I think
yeah,
just last year
yeah,
June when this happened. But
yeah,
thank you for answering that. And I think, I want to move into something as soon as I, realize, or anybody who's also listening to this or watching to this, if you just go ahead and Google Pranav Panpalia, you'll see these YouTube videos where you're driving these cars and, vlogging about them, celebrities and all of those things. And from there, how did
yeah,
you came into starting OpraahFx is something that I want to know very, broadly and try to understand how your entire journey was from the YouTube thing now to
yeah.
running your own organization.
Yeah. So of course, cars was like a big passion of mine, right? And right off the bat after my college, I was like, I have to do something around cars. And lucky for me, a friend from Delhi who was a YouTuber, he just messaged me that, hey, I want to record a video and I want to do it in Bombay, and I need help from you. And me being a college going kid with only time in hand, I said, let's do it. So when I saw the whole process of that recording, the video going live, and the video hitting 6 million views, I was like, oh my god, it's like that. This is the potential. So then I knew I had to get some cars on board. I did the
And
base.
which, sorry, I'm cutting you, but which year was this?
This is what, this is 2016, or yeah,
Okay,
2016.
got it.
Yeah, just when I was graduating. Yeah. And we did this video, and then I was also a part of this video, and then I saw so much of, and I did not have a YouTube channel, so I saw so much of fame come my way, and that's when I was like, I gotta do something around cars. And I built a network of supercar owners. I reached out to friends, family, whosoever can be possibly owning these cars, did videos around them. This is all pre-geo time, so even the audience was like really amazed to see that, oh, these cars sort of exist in India. And what happened was I also ended up getting a good success in the first 2 months or 3 months. I think I ended up luckily having a lakh subscribers. uh, and when I saw that my AdSense is not gonna help me continue this, because against those many views, people might think that, oh, probably he the reason he's driving these cars is because of those views. But no, I can't even fuel my car or someone's car with that money. So a basic question came to my mind, that how are these Western YouTubers surviving, right? How are they affording such luxuries? How are they getting exact number of same number of views and doing this? And still in college, I think, started Googling about these YouTubers, came across influencer marketing as a term. And that's when it was more about how do I translate fame into monetization. And I got my way, which was influencer marketing. And that's when I started to work on it. I was initially building a platform which would enable content creators to get in touch with brands to execute campaigns, automate the whole process. But of course, it was too soon for that time, because the automate something, a concept which is just fairly so new for everyone to even understand. So we started working as an agency, and yeah, that's ideally the journey.
And like now, how big of a team is it? Who are the talent that you're representing and managing currently?
So we are a team of 20 people right now, uh, and we represent around 12 to 13 talents. Uh, to name a few, now we have more on the gaming side, of course, because our focus have moved towards gaming. We have Total Gaming, which is the biggest gamer in terms of subscribers. Then we have Techno Gamers, second biggest. Then we've recently signed Desi Gamers, and it's going public on your podcast for the first time. And then we have MythPat, Slaypoint. We have a very upcoming female gamer by the name of Max Play, and Chapati Gamer from London, and yeah, a lot of Instagrammers in the food blogging and some entertainment content creators, couple of models, Instagrammers. Yeah, so this is
Wow.
primarily our list. Yeah, and that's when I was on a spree of reaching out to people with ideas that, hey, you should invest in this, invest in this, invest in this, right? And that's when I uh, prepared an idea, which was, movies are seen by everyone. There could be a ticket for 600 rupees for the tier one, or probably the upper middle class. There would be a ticket for 50, 100, 200 in your every sort of genre.
Yeah.
These are the content creators who have an audience.
Hmm.
We and India watches them, right?
Yeah.
Now a movie comes, what is the biggest mode of promotion for them at that particular point of time? They would do articles, they can do news, they can do some PR events, they can do,
Hoardings or
yeah, they
newspaper
can
ads
go do
traditional.
some, yeah, review people, and they can sit down and have a talk, round table, or whatever. All of that would happen, right? And good 1 lakh views, 2 lakh views, those videos usually get, right? And then I pitched this idea to Excel Entertainment. They were kind enough to get on a call with me with zero background and zero case studies and everything. They were like, we really like this idea. They asked me to come down to Bombay. I met them. I said, listen, these guys are the two biggest guys in the country. And at that point of time, I had just met Bhuvan's manager, and I was just starting to work with Ashish. Not that I was in the industry, so I was new to them as well, right? But the moment this idea went to both the parties, everyone was so elated and excited, because the content creators wanted to work with the Bollywood people. So it was a definite win with for them. They
Yeah.
wanted to be a part, or probably, just interact and mix communities. So for them, it was a brilliant collaboration. For the movie people, they reached out to 40 plus million views, right?
Yeah.
So one movie, you are reaching to 4 crore people. That's a big part of
Yeah.
the internet, right?
Yeah.
And uh, this this once done led to, a chain effect. People started to see other productions houses see. Now more content creators wanted to be associated with Bollywood, more Bollywood wanted to be associated with content creators. Each parties realized the power on both the sides, and it ended up being a successful collaboration. And yeah, that was the behind the scene. I still remember. I would, the moment they said that, okay, you're on a call, and I was like, oh my god, because for me, I was like 21. For me, I think Excel
Hmm.
Entertainment was a big deal, and I was
Yeah.
Excel Entertainment is owned by Farhan Akhtar, right? And
Yeah.
someone who works closely with Farhan Akhtar asked me to get on a call with him.
Hmm.
So pretty interesting, and kudos, shout out to those guys for uh, making that happen. And I think that laid a foundation and played a very important part in what I am and where we are today.
So let me get this straight. Like you are sitting in your dad's office in one corner with a laptop
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just sending emails or ideas to
yeah,
different organization and brands, and just one of the brands responds, and
yeah,
that becomes like a seeding ground for influencer marketing in India altogether. I think how casually you are saying this, it's a brilliant step and a brilliant
yeah,
story altogether.
yeah, yeah.
But
Like luckily that was a very big month for me and for the influencer marketing space, because that particular month we did the biggest YouTube influencer campaign as well with a brand.
wow,
Yeah,
like that very month after the
the
movie.
same timing, same
Wow,
probably in the same couple of weeks. So I had Hike Messenger again. Believe in the crazy ideas I had that particular time of, and then I just uh, uh, gave them the ideas that, hey, we should do this, we should use this influencers to talk about your product this certain way, blah 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 blah, all the stuff. And then we had the entire trending section of YouTube covered for 15 days. So it was planned in
wow,
such a way that today Bhuvan and Ashish were again a part of that campaign.
mhm.
So this campaign was spread out across 3 months, and basically for those 3 months entirely, you would see a content creator on the trending top 5 page talking about Hike Messenger.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. I think I remember because back then 2017, 18 or 19, whatever, I think this year was. This was again pre-Geo or just at the start of Geo?
I think this was just start of Geo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And even, maybe not how accessible the internet is
Yeah.
for everyone right now, back then, and still making it to the trending charts for like a long period of
Yeah.
time, I think
Yeah.
that is definitely like a successful
Yeah.
campaign altogether. Tell me, two questions, and probably the last two questions that I have for you. One thing, how is influencer marketing right now? Because I see it's not just, let's say, YouTube, it's also maybe Instagram, or when it was TikTok, there were also a few agencies or talent companies who were just doing TikTok influencers. Now there is Moj, MX, Takatak, or just Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn influencers, leaders, and all of those things as well. And I think fairly now it's very popularly known to the audience also what is influencer marketing. And when somebody is trying to say that on Instagram, paid partnership with so and so brand, they really understand what this is. So, but from you who has been in the space and in the business since the very inception of it, maybe in India, uh, how is it? How has it changed, and how is it currently the influencer marketing space?
I mean, in terms of awareness, like you said, it's widely known now. So now our job is pretty easier, right? We just have to bring
Yeah.
in what unique qualities do we bring to the table as an agency as compared to everyone else. It's not about, okay, you do influencer marketing, so we are going to work with you, right? Initially, a lot of our time was being spent in educating people about the concept and what we're doing here. Now, in terms of that, that's pretty much easier. But what I feel is because of the concept being widely spread across, it's become like a transaction. And the way I see it is, I don't treat influencer marketing or working with influencers just as a transaction. I want, and because and this is like a general rule inside the team as well, that we suggest content creators whose content and whose audiences we are very well versed with, right? When it's not like, okay, this guy has 5 million, so I'm suggesting you this particular because he will make you reach that sort of. So what is it has become, it's very number oriented now, right? Like ye itne mein hai, wo utne mein hai.
Yeah.
This is like the bad state which I feel, because now I'm also on the representing side. So a lot
Yeah.
of times I would get calls, and they would talk about ye jada hai ya ye kam hai on the basis of just numbers, but they don't understand what I am bringing to the table, what sort of value I will bring to the table for the brand, what sort of conversions will happen, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that, okay, that particular YouTube with X number of subscriber base is charging this much, so I must charge this much as well, right? But that's not the case. A lot of content creators have like a cult following, wherein if they suggest something, people end up buying, right?
Yeah.
And for that same subscriber base, the other YouTuber probably is promoting everything and anything that's coming his way, right? He's
Yeah.
also promoting alcohol. He's also promoting your gambling apps and all of that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the content creator is very selective of what he should push out to his audience, right? But these things are not being understood by the newer agencies that are coming on the wave, because for them, both of them are equal, because X number of subscriber base is similar,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So the state is bad, I would say, but overall, if you see number wise, everyone's making money, right? All of these
Yeah.
agencies are also making money. The spent on influencer marketing is high. Every possible brand in the country right now is spending, probably not a lot, but some amount of that money comes into influencer marketing from their marketing budgets,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So overall, of course, it's been increased, I think, multifolds, but the general internal state of affairs is not that great, is what there are, I think, 4 to 5 companies who have come with uh, the concept and their agencies back in the day, 4 5, and they understand because they've grown with the influencers, right? We as a company have grown with our influencers,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But if you come and start, you're coming from you were marketing director at XYZ Ogilvy or whatever, and then you suddenly start an influencer marketing agency. For you, is just transaction, that
Yeah.
okay, I know the marketing heads of XYZ companies, and
Yeah.
okay, influencer ko reach out karna is not a task, so
Yeah.
let's make this transaction happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then a lot of meaningful campaigns sort of happen once you know the content creator, once you know
Correct.
ki iska audience is this, and if I promote this content in a certain way, and of course believing in the content creator also, that's also missing a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they understand the way I would sell the product or a service, and I know my brand, I know my audience, and this is how the people are gonna pursue it and buy it, and this is going to be much more efficient than the way you are telling me. So
Yeah.
I think if brands start to listen to content creators also, and it's more like a mutual discussion, not just a brief that's been made and everyone has to follow that particular brief, uh, and just be like, in the middle, this video is sponsored by
Yeah.
and this product does this and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's moving. Yeah,
And when you were answering that, there are some creators who, will push out every brand deal and, accept everything. In my head, I was getting some examples of some Instagrammers and YouTubers who
yeah,
will probably talk about every brand, right? From an alcohol brand or a lifestyle brand or a product and all of those things. And there are
yeah,
some creators
yeah,
who selectively talk about a particular category of brands itself, and
yeah,
they're also very responsible as to how they use their influence
yeah,
and their
yeah,
audience and communicate to their
yeah,
audience.
yeah. So
Um,
I would like to add something here. Like,
hmm,
for example, the good part about the content creators that I have, a lot of times a brand is paying them really good money to promote something. Let's say it's not even alcohol or against their ethics,
yeah,
but it's just something that they know deep down inside that is not going to match the target audience that the brand has, and they
yeah,
say no,
yeah,
right? what happens is, you must have seen it on Instagram, a female blogger, or let's say a female influencer, is promoting beauty products.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, if you go into their comment section, you
Hmm.
would find 90% guys,
Hmm.
right? Because they're like, okay, nice, pretty, whatever, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? Is that a good match for that product?
I don't think so.
No, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, there are multiple female bloggers who are being followed by female uh, audiences.
Hmm.
But it's everyone gets too lazy. Okay, you're a female. Who's going to find out that perfect audience, right?
Yeah.
You're a female influencer. My, let's say, XYZ company needed 20 influencers. This is the budget. Let's lock the deal. XYZ number of likes. Nahi bika. Influencer marketing doesn't work. Not true. You did not choose the influencers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So a major chunk is how do you select those influencers, and that's where a lot of our times also gets spent, because we want to curate those lists and those names perfectly for a brand. And I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of times missing, because
Yeah.
those guys are not going to buy that makeup, right? You're
Correct.
spending X number of amount to reach out to 10% of the audience,
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
where the 90 is just the opposite uh, demographic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, makes sense. And I think that's something that really sets apart a good talent management agency and somebody who's just there for transactions, as you were referring about.
Yeah.
And this is something that I want to know because for a decent amount of time, I was, managing a few musicians and few other artists. And I think in one of the past episodes, when I was speaking to Chaitanya Kataria, who's co-founder of Gully Gang, I was also speaking to him about, how do you really look for creators or artists to onboard and represent them, and how does this really function? Because you really have to be available to them 24/7 and really think about them 24/7 as to how they can scale up and all of those things. So especially if you get like 50 or 100 influencers under your agencies, uh, then how do you really manage that, and how does the operation at a talent agency really work is something that I want to know from you.
Yeah. So for us, we want to ideally stick to very limited number of people. We don't want to go the 50, 100 talents route. And everyone that we have picked is really honestly picked by me only, right? It's not something that we're emailing out to hundreds of influencers and whosoever reverts, and then we're going to just convert it into our roster, right? So for me, I think it's just some sort of blessing or skill sets that I've possessed, wherein the moment I look at a new content creator, then I have the next 5 years of a journey just right there started to click in my head. And it happens, right? Sometimes you see a person, then you're like, okay, these are the things that this person can do. I
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
moment you see their couple of videos, and then you're like, you get intrigued. Okay, first video, okay, that's chill. Then second video, that's amazing. And then you just scan through their entire YouTube channel, and that's when you're like, okay, this person's doing this. If you provide X number of resources, knowledge, support, and this person can reach XYZ heights. So I
yeah,
think in terms of selection of content creators, for me, uh, also talent is one thing, but second most important thing is, how do these content creators, what sort of background they come from, what sort of
hmm,
ethics they carry in their life, right? I don't want people. I want people who go with me the longer run, right?
yeah,
Not someone who
yeah,
uses quick resources to and uses me as a step onto bigger things or something like that, right? I want to
yeah,
associate on a more family level. I want to associate and partner with them, wherein I really am concerned about their growth. I want them to become big, and that's how I will become big.
yeah,
So how you are as a person is a very big factor, and I think a lot of, I'm not sure about others, but I think that is something that should definitely come into play and should be spoken about a lot.
yeah,
That you might be working with the biggest content creator, but if that person's not really uh, he doesn't probably trust you, or he's probably uh, just it is again very transactional in terms of you get me brand deal, you get me this, and I'm gonna pay you X amount of money out of that, right?
Yeah.
And if it's just about that, then you are not happy internally, first of all. And I
Hmm.
think happiness is the most important, because why is everyone doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
If you're not happy, your bank account is not gonna change much. You can probably get a Ferrari, but still, that's a couple of days of happiness, right? And this is
Yeah.
coming from someone who loves Ferrari. So, uh, so at the end of the day, you got to be happy with the people you're
Yeah.
working with, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly like if you're a corporate, right? You might have someone who's crazy, who's bringing you X amount of business, who's running the show, but is a pain in the ass for you as an individual, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Do you keep it or do you let them go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So someone whose happiness is more money, more money, more money, probably would go through that pain of that person,
Yeah.
right? And let him be. Or and someone who wants to go the ethical way,
Yeah.
be happy in their, have a good night's sleep, would probably just ask that person to go and be
Yeah.
like, I will find someone who I can probably 1/10 of the subscriber base or 1/10 of the skill set in an organization, but I would take some time and grow with that person.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think very, very rightly put when you use the word ethics. I think that's something that's very, very important, especially because managing a talent is how you're referring that it's a long term thing. It's not just like let's say one step or a
Yeah.
one time thing or a 1 year thing that just make me reach till this particular goal and then tata bye bye. I think that ethics and that trust is also very much needed from both the sides, not just from the agency but from the creator also. um, and that's something that was really, really nicely put by you. One last question, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
move to a few
Yeah.
fun, light questions because I'm very, very intrigued about knowing what your favorite cars are. But let's come back.
Yeah.
Let's come to that later. Something I want to ask you is, you know, when I'm hearing you and listening to all the answers that you're giving, right from sitting from a corner in that office, emailing ideas, from cars, creating videos, I feel that you are very, very passionate about what you do, but how would you suggest people to find out what they are passionate about and what really drives them? So, how can people find out what they are passionate about and how can they stick to being passionate? What do you have to say about it?
Yeah. So from, I think, coming from my life's example, I would say I started off with my passion, right, which was cars. And at this point, I was driving in other people's cars, right? I was friends and family and everything, right? Back of my head, it was always like, I got to drive one of these of my own, right? And then I started the company, right? And it was not sure that it is going to work out, because my parents, when I told them first about this idea, they were like, do it on your own risk, because we don't know what you're about to do, right? And what this is about. We cannot even help you if you come into a situation, right?
Yeah,
We have zero experience. We're coming from the manufacturing background. We have no idea what you're talking about. So what I would feel is, whatever you're doing, it's a job, your company, do that with passion, to at some point achieve something that is your passion,
hmm, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, for example, now I can do all these things, but I'm going to do all of this with passion,
yeah,
to at some point reach a level where I'm able to get access to those cars of my own.
hmm,
And that will be like the entire circle of my life.
yeah, yeah,
So, set, and that could be in, people can find this in multiple situations, however they find fit. But whatever you do, either you find your passion and you think there is money, because I think money is a very important, crucial factor to survive, to run
yeah,
business, pay your bills,
yeah,
right? So if your passion's paying your bills, go for it, full throttle. Don't stop, don't change, don't do anything else. Just keep on working on those skill sets and improving your passion. Keep on innovating, collaborating, But if you're not doing what is really your passion, then
Yeah.
you should work really hard with smartness to at some point exit what you're doing and get that financial freedom, that get into that headspace, into everything, to be able to achieve passion and that nirvana in your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's very, very important that people need to understand about this passion economy and this creator economy that's
yeah,
booming currently in India. That
yeah,
just because another creator, another artist is making a lot of
yeah,
money
yeah,
by following their passion,
yeah,
doesn't mean you will have the same journey as him or
yeah,
her, because
yeah,
sometimes it's difficult. And it's very different for everyone. So I think if you're just going into this for the sake of money,
yeah,
I think just take
yeah, yeah,
2 seconds to think again about it, and you
yeah,
should just figure out what you are really passionate about.
correct.
Um,
And so with my YouTube channel, I would say I was passionate about cars, but I was not really passionate about making YouTube videos.
hmm, yeah,
So I did find success, and anyone
hmm,
at my place would not have given it up. And
yeah,
I wouldn't say I've given it up. Of course, I will do continue videos whenever I
yeah,
will probably at some point have like a lot of time on my hand.
hmm,
Uh, but someone with 2 lakh subscribers would have aimed to reach 2 million, 20 million, or XYZ.
yeah,
When those views started to come in, it did not intrigue me as much as it intrigued me when I did my first video. So
hmm,
it of course was fascinating to be a YouTuber, but then the the behind the scenes, I realized that I'm not that great in front of camera as I'm behind the camera.
yeah,
So I'm good with people. I can talk. I can express myself, my thoughts when I'm not in front of the camera, right?
hmm,
But so that's when I made a choice, a life decision that okay, let me do this while I'm also related to everything. I'm
yeah,
still related to the YouTube
yeah,
videos. I'm still related to cars. I'm still related to the entire back end side of things, right? And
yeah,
at this point just trying to figure out how can I do all three, four things at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think once you have to maybe just start, and then you really figure out what you're passionate about, or maybe your passion just evolves into something else, or you just tend to
yeah,
become, you figure out it yourself in the journey. And I think that's also one very good lesson that every listener or viewer of this episode can take
yeah,
away from
yeah,
this. Sadly, I have to come to my last question,
yeah.
and the last question is, which is your favorite car, and what are you aspiring? Which car are you aspiring to buy one day?
Uh, so like again, like passion, this also evolves because every year there is some new car that enters the
Yeah,
market, right? But honestly, deep down, I've been a very big fan of the Ferrari 458 Speciale and the Lamborghini Aventador. I've had the chance to drive the 458. I've had the chance to be in the Aventador, and these two cars are just out of the world. And the first time I sat in the 458, that was the first time I got to know about the concept of G-force was being introduced to me in real life, because when it went from 0 to 100 under 3 seconds, I could feel that I did not have seats under me, and that was like the best experience of my life. And yeah, I mean, these two cars are like just dreams, and I think very soon, I think whenever I'm there, I'll just go and buy these two cars, one of them, of course. Yeah,
Wow, I
yeah,
hope you
yeah,
reach
yeah.
that place,
But yeah,
and
on an immediate basis, the moment Tesla comes, that's happening.
wow, super. I hope that
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
sooner for you. And
yeah,
really excited, Pranav, to see what some new great things you're going to do in the coming months and in the coming years. But thank you so much for giving us your time today and doing this conversation with us. I think it's been like a roller coaster ride, starting from knowing everything about how you started, then about influencer marketing, and then eventually about cars as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And you guys are doing some killer work at Pepper Content. And all the best for everything you guys have also planned and is in the pipeline.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Pranav. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening or watching this episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or even on IGTV, please feel free to share it with other creators. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, please just hit that follow button or subscribe button, and we'll be very happy to know that you like this content and this episode and this show that we are hosting since past 15 weeks. If you have any suggestions, any recommendations as to whom we should host, please feel free to just DM us or write to us on our email. The email address is mentioned in the description of this episode. Please just feel free to share as many suggestions, questions if you have for us, and we are more than happy to answer all of those for you. But stay safe, stay indoors, and if you feel we can be of any help to you guys, please feel free to reach out to us.